this Georgia-Oklahoma game for me is the national championship because whoever wins Clemson and Alabama is going to have their hands full with whoever comes out of this battle. I think the best thing that both teams can hope for is whoever wins. If you can walk out of there with no injuries, you put yourself in a position to have a real conversation about being a national champion. I really don't see a lot of Clemson's great, but I don't think Clemson can deal with Oklahoma. And Clemson's fast, but I don't think they can deal with the physicality of Georgia. Alabama got the best of everything. They call plays for Alabama sipping my time.
Well,
No,
yeah,
I swear to God, I swear to God, it make it feel like it's here till you stop it. We ain't changing much. We're gonna run it to the left. We're gonna run it to the right. We're gonna spread. We're gonna use the hash marks, and we're gonna stretch the field with the right.
so while we're on the subject of college football, let me ask you this. Here in Texas, obviously the big news is the hiring of Jimbo Fisher, taking him away from Florida State to become the
Right.
new head coach of the Texas A&M Aggies.
Mm. I think Aggie fans got a lot to be excited
While
about.
while I agree on the football end of this, let me ask you, in a business sense, why would you sign a new coach to your university right off the bat? 10 years, 75 million.
I can answer that very easily. Very easily. It is probably right now the wave of the future when it comes to building a franchise. The model has already been set. You cannot be successful changing the head of the snake. If you want that snake to be lethal, you want to be able to build your organization. You have to build from the top down, and by giving your head coach the comfort of knowing he has that kind of comfort zone, and at that dollar amount, they're not going to be quick to pull the trigger on him if it takes him a season or two to get the Aggies right. But he's in there for the long haul to build that organization up. I think the boost of him being there is one. Two, secondly, it solidifies that whoever he chooses to recruit or go after, they got to guarantee he's going to be there next year. Coach, the lifespan of most collegiate coaches, if you're under 500, you usually not working next year.
Yeah,
They
but
got
but
temp,
what?
they got temp agencies for that. So to give him 10 years off the break is a huge security blanket and an enormous statement to the commitment they have in that man.
Well,
I don't.
a security blanket for him. What's to say
Hey,
that he does any good at Texas A&M? Let's say 4 or 5 years down the road, which is usually the time frame that I like to give a coach in college football. That gives them their 4 full years to get their recruits in the mix. You know, their first set of recruits, now they're seniors in that fourth year, maybe a fifth year if they're looking decent. But after 5 years, and you're just not getting it done, and the Texas A&M Aggies are still a 500 organization as a football team.
okay.
And you say this just ain't working out. We need someone who's going to make us winners now.
Right.
You've got to pay him another 5 years. You're basically going to pay him to go coach somewhere else.
The need for a change is that major. You know how many zeros go behind making this decision. If trust me, something was said behind closed doors that was just irreparable. I'm telling you, when they willing to pay that kind of money to get rid of somebody, it was something said. You know, you say something about my mom, I'll put my hands on you. But you had to say something pretty bad for them to say, you know what, we just gonna go ahead and pay you next 5 years. Just get your stuff.
Well, that's what happened with Kevin Sumlin.
That's what that says to me when I look at it the way I look at it. I might have a jaded scope lens, but yo, when somebody says, "Hey, look, we willing to pay you for the next 5 years," because of your contract, but you got to come up out this seat. Hey, either you just got money to throw around like that, or they really want you up out of there.
Seven and a
They
half
know that.
mil, $7.5 million a year.
Hey, hey, a drop in the bucket if we gonna have a problem creatively.
Well, I'm telling you right now, my email is
I,
nationalyouthsportsradio@gmail.com. My phone number is 979-353-4421. If you want to offer me to coach your team for 10 years for $75 million for those 10 years, I'm there.
Can I be your defensive coordinator? I need some money.
Yeah. I mean, I needs to get paid. I need to get paid.
I feel you on that.
I mean,
feel you on that.
damn.
Hey, yeah. Hey, that's a nice piece of change.
That's
No
not.
doubt.
No, see, that's not even change. That's the market.
Okay. So let me ask you this, then, Ken. Who got it better? The new coach coming in with the fat check, or the one that's getting ready to go home for the next 5 years paid?
The one going home with 5 years paid.
Yo,
I'm looking at trips to the Bahamas. I'm looking at European trips.
What? Hey, look, I got the crew coming over to clean this office out. I'm gonna get me another car, get a convertible. I'm gonna ride by the house, see the missus, kick it a little bit, and start my plans for Turkey Caicos. What happened? Hey, they just fired me, but they gave me all my money. I'm gonna do something.
You ain't lying, man. I'm telling you that is just.
Hey, look, I'm not hurt. Hey, look, I'm not hurt. I get over it. I'm not letting over it. Just make sure my check is at account.
Just make sure my check is direct deposited.
Yes, I know. I said I love the hood. I know I did. I said that. I did. But when I got that check, yo, if I was a coach, I'm cool with it.
Yeah,
Totally cool with it.
I just think that is a mistake on the university to offer that kind of money. I realize he's quote Jimbo Fisher, national champion coach for 1 year. 1 year. We're not talking like he's a multiple winner. We're not talking like he's Nick Saban. 1 year.
He got 10 years. He got 10 years to be the first Jimbo Fisher. He got 10 years to be the first Jimbo Fisher. Whatever that's gonna be, congratulations. You got some work to do.
Wow.
In the meantime, hey, bring me another one of those tequilas. We can ready to go jet skiing. With that 5 years.
Unbelievable.
Paycheck for 5 years. Man, what? Is that a dolphin? I would be so gone. I'd be so gone.
I bet you I know how that conversation went over the phone. Texas A&M calls Jimbo Fisher. Jimbo, we know you're unhappy there at Florida State. We got a great facilities. We got a great stadium, fantastic boosters. We're ready to treat you right. And the only response they got from Jimbo Fisher was, show me the money.
I'm going to say that, but show me the money, dog.
Show me the money.
Share with me then.
And he got the money. He definitely got the money. Hey, switching gears.
Having too much fun, Kenny.
We are having too much fun. Last night's NFL football game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals.
I knew he was going to do it. That's my team. I know. Go ahead, ask anything.
I didn't watch the game, which is odd for me, not watch a Monday Night Football game. But I've been gone every weekend. I'm talking like Thursday through Sunday. I've been gone. So I spent a little time with the wife last night. We did some decorating in the house here for Christmas and all that. So I didn't watch the football game. Yeah, well, yeah,
You supposed to. You supposed to, man.
I had to give one night of Hallmark.
No, that's right. No, that's right.
So the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals got a little chippy last night. And I've been
Uh,
seeing across the wire most of the day. A lot of suspensions have been coming out.
I wouldn't call it chippy as much as, and I say this as a Steelers fan. Yes, I am extremely biased when it comes to NFL. I love sport, but my Steelers are personal. We always have physical games with the Bengals. It didn't start yesterday. If you go back, you look at examples of great rivalries, the Redskins, the Cowboys. Wow, some of the great games you would find
And we gonna get to
throughout the
that.
end of the time. Dude, the Steelers and the Bengals, we just don't like them guys. They say who they, and we use the scream we they. And what happened was this, and I love it. Um, Hans Ward is probably one of the most prolific receivers in our histories, as when I say all, I say we Steelers fans. Um, and he was known mostly for his ability not only to be a good possession receiver, extreme possession receiver, but a great run block as well. To see Juju Smith-Schuster take on such an aggression to it is beautiful out of a rookie. I love it. I love it. Now, we getting ready to talk about this hit on Burfict. Now, I'm not going to have to sit here and educate somebody like my man, Special K, Kenny Long, on the history of Burfict and some of his petty shots that he's taken over the years with us. So this didn't just start yesterday. You know what I'm saying? This is not just, okay, this thing got out of hand. This was emphatic. So to get to the point, Juju putting the wood to Burfict was totally clean to me. It was totally clean to me. The only thing about it, I think he made his mistake was that when he stood over top of him. When he stood over top of him and sent a message.
You're telling me
And
that was a clean hit.
I loved it. I loved it. It's the replay. I can pull matter of fact, I pull up on my tablet right now. I love it.
I pulled it up. I saw it.
I've seen worse. I've seen worse examples. I've seen some things that probably like really like that was unnecessary. But now I say this. I add that segment to say this. Had Juju once Juju hit him, if Juju would have just ran off, I guarantee you it wouldn't have got a third of the attention that it did just because he stood over top of him. I
Well, yeah. I
guarantee
mean,
you.
anytime you're going to stand over top an opponent after making a hit like that, that is going
Yeah.
to it's going to give it to you.
Right. Now let me ask you this. I know it may stray just for a second. I know as you being a great Dallas fan and a lover of the sport of football, I know you remember this gentleman's name. Nobody can ever forget him. I haven't seen anybody hit like that or take the initiative to hit like that since Sean Taylor. So I put that concept in place to say to you, if this was another lifetime when Sean Taylor was possibly on that field, if Sean Taylor hit that guy, it'd be all over sports center. What a shot!
Yeah, you're right.
But now it's a flag. If you go back and watch some of Sean Taylor's highlight films, tell me all them in today's rule system. Tell me that was clean football. And I'm not saying it to put anything down on him. So I wish Sean Taylor would came play for the Steelers. Him and Palomalo would have been bitch. But anyway, um, when you look at the way the game is going, sometimes it seems like it's gone to a Cartland level where I understand the dynamics of CTE. I understand that collision sickness is very serious and the damage is irreparable. You may be functional, but it comes to get you later. It's spooky like that. I understand you want to protect the athletes. I do. I think the hitting, the tackling quality, and the hitting quality over the past 4 to 5 seasons has been increasingly better. Very, I would say, dare to say the past 4 years, I've seen less of the minor